What's up, Baku gamers? Welcome back. Today's video topic is a fairly somber one. I myself am not a participant of ban culture. I try to stray away from it as much as possible, but to a certain point, it becomes unavoidable. There are some aspects or mechanics or a certain card, and in this game's case, Bakugan, that just become a little bit too either powerful or, in this video's example, unavailable to most competitive players or decks or strategies for the game, mostly. Why would I focus on Ultima when Howling Shell Bomb or Baku Treasure are far more beneficial targets for the ban hammer? Well, it has come to my knowledge recently, thanks to Master Spence, that not only is it behind a $60 paywall, and that's not even a big deal if you want to play competitively, better whip out the big bucks. Welcome to how TCGs function. I am not happy with the decision to have such a competitive Bakugan within such a expensive product, but that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that aspect of Ultima Dragonoid, right? We're talking about how it is limited edition. Thanks to Master Spence, we have found out, and he's the one who informed me. VK himself said on the Reddit that the deluxe edition, which Ultima is housed in, is limited. Only a few, maybe 100,000, hundreds or thousands. Let's not talk about 100,000s. I have no idea. But the fact that this Bakugan is going to be limited, it's not going to be wide source. And if you live international, sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal. I don't know what to tell you. Looks like you're not running Pyrus for a while. Not like you already could because you didn't have access to Resurgence, and Super Fuel's the only reason to run Pyrus. That's mainly it, is just the fact that Ultima is not going to be widespread. If you want to play Pyrus competitively, you need Ultima. And if you want to play Pyrus competitively, you need to be one of the first in line to get Champions of Destroya. Isn't that grand? Isn't that neat? Isn't that convenient? I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And I feel like that's far less controversial than, say, anyone having the ability to do basic card evaluation. And that's not a slight. If you're offended by that, oops. But there are some cards that need convincing and some aspects of the game that are just blatantly bad for the game, such as this limited edition competitive Bakugan. Oops. Like, Baku Treasure needs some convincing to people for some reason, but for a lot of people, Bakugan is their first card game. So they're not going to be aware of why something like Baku Treasure, allowing you to have 37 cards in your deck rather than 40, and especially because, you know, as I say, Double Strike and Frost Strike are very alluring strategies to someone who may not have apt card evaluation skills. The same applies to Baku Treasure, in which this game itself inherently, drawing is doing damage to yourself, but the advantage that you were gaining out of that advantage is so grand, especially when Aquos allows you those sync strategies and allows you to draw into your win conditions like Midas Indius or Mac. Like, anything you need to win the fight, the battle, you're more than likely going to draw what you need and win every single brawl and eventually the game. Your opponent, if they're not running Aquos, they can't keep up. And something like Howling Shell Bomb, where, yeah, it's a combo piece. You need to draw into all the combo pieces. But, as I said, with Baku Treasure, and with so many different combo pieces, Howling Shell Bomb itself is probably the only thing that you're going to have trouble getting into your hand, because there are so many things that combo with Howling Shell Bomb, and that you're not going to be in short supply. So you will always have either a Falling Strike, an Aqua Freeze Beam, or a Vortex Blaster, or a Dark Disaster. There's tons of enablers for Howling Shell Bomb, so it's only a matter of drawing that Howling Shell Bomb. And not only that, but the other cards that synchronize with it. You know what I mean? So those take convincing, and I hope those are sound arguments, because I gave you the antithesis of why people would say they're not broken. But trust me, think about it this way: if you draw a card and it gives you insane advantage over your opponent that does not have it, it's busted, right? Like, think about it this way: Max C is a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is banned, and it will continue to be banned. Yes, people want it back, they miss it, but they also say they miss Dragon Rulers. They also say they miss Zodiacs, which at the time were the most cancerous decks in the game. There was nothing like them, and everyone hated those decks. So nostalgia blinds people from what they really hated. And Max C was one of those cards, because if you drew it, you essentially win. You put yourself in such an insane spot over your opponent, because they either pass or give you like 15 draws. Like, what? And that's essentially the same thing with Howling Shell Bomb, when instead of 15 cards you just drew, oops, 1500 B power for free. Because if Howling Shell Bomb is put to 1, or like, let's say 1, that's being generous, will Sync strategy still survive after that? All these enablers with nothing else to do with it? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And Darkest Shadow is also another card that seems ban-worthy, limit-worthy, because everyone's running Aquos. I know it's a meme on this channel. I know everyone makes a goof and a laugh. Ah, we're talking about Aquos again, because at this point, Aquos is a staple. You're running Aquos. I don't care how unique you think you are. I don't care if you're playing your favorite Bakugan. If you're playing this game competitively and you're taking it seriously, you are going to play Aquos. I don't care who you are. You are putting yourself at a meager disadvantage. I don't know if meager's small or big.
Meager.
You're putting yourself... I just hate saying disadvantage over and over again. But it's true. This game is about advantages and disadvantages. And if you don't run Aquos, oops, you might as well dive bomb out the window, right? Said, Darkest Shadow is going to call either Aquos or Pyrus, which are the two most prominent factions in the game. And you just, oops, for 4 or even 2, if I super fuel into it turn 2, oh, looks like you're top decking for the rest of the game, or living off of 1 or 2 cards for, like, and at turn 2, that's before Shun, so you're not going to be able to acclimate advantage back. Oops. Maybe I discarded the Shun off the saying Aquos. So those are the cards that need convincing. That's not so cut and dry. You need to convince people that those cards are ban-worthy or limit-worthy. Whereas, and I feel Ultima explains itself. I know I tangented and talked about literally everything else except Ultima, but I'm telling you, it's literally just because not everyone's going to be able to access it. And then you're going to have to deal with scalpers. And that's cool if you're a collector. I have my own thoughts about scalpers, but if you're just collecting it and you're a schmuck and you want to buy the Dragonoid core that someone smeared black paint or dragged across an asphalt road, go ahead. That's your decision. You can do that. I don't give a shit. But the fact that it is competitively viable and leaves all the other Pyrus Bakugan before it into the dust, and it's not even going to be available for everyone, it's a limited supply, that's ridiculous. I don't think I should even have to make an argument for that. It speaks for itself. And it is another move by Spin Master where it's like, come on, dude. Another one. Another bad decision. Another turn off. If you listen closely, you just heard 2 other people quit this game. You can hear it, man. Anytime some dumbass announcement's made, just listen. You can hear quietly in the distance. Fuck this, dude. Like, I love this game to bits. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't like it. And VK, if you're listening, Sorry, dude. Like, it's true. I'm not gonna censor myself. This game has obvious problems. And obvious bad decisions are being made. So, I say these things not to shit on it. Not to complain for no reason. But to be better. And hopefully, I want this game to last more than 3 years. I want this to be worth it. For all of us. Because I know people that have dumped thousands into this game. And that's before we had $60 paywall competitive Bakugan. Make it worth it. Make the competitive scene, and I know COVID, blah, 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 blah. But we're not even getting a bang for our buck. We're not even seeing formats. We're not able to play these Bakugan that we spend a fortune for. And before we know it, the Bakugan that we just paid a fortune for have been power creeped by Ultima. And Bakugan just like it. What do you guys think? Am I overreacting? I might just be giving into the hype. I don't think so. And I'm sorry I'm a little bit rough. I'm sorry. But it just needs to be said. I don't know, man. I'm being too negative. I need to do a nice video. I need to do one where it's like, you know what, I'm very excited. I think the fusion one was good enough. I tell you what, if Pyrus, Darkus, Hydra Crack is good, then I'll take everything back. I'll say Ultima is the best decision ever made. You know, I'll say, oh, Champions of Destroy looks great. The walk cycle definitely isn't stupid. I'll do whatever you want, as long as Hydra Crack Pyrus Darkus is great. I'll do whatever. I'll be a shill. I'll give up all my morals, everything. I'm yours. So make it happen. All right, I'm done. See ya.